It helps us as well.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
Why do you panic?
the way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it prickles.
Watch Johnny's bite.
You know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as well.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
Why do you panic?
the way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of our lives. And we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Friday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Thank you very much indeed for staying with us and supporting us, and to all our affiliates across the country, and for those who spend time to watch us from across the diaspora, those who close their night shift and come back and watch, those who watch us before they leave home, all the children who like Johnny's Bite, and we wish you all the best in life. This morning, there are two quick things I want to put out there. Madam Lydia Brown and Kosami, two senior citizens, they have their birthdays today, and it's always good to celebrate life. So happy birthday to Madam Lydia Brown. She lives at Anthem in the Central Region, Cape Coast to be specific. She used to work with the Ghana Water Company Limited. Today is her birthday, and on behalf of the rest of the family, happy birthday to her. And also to Kosami, the popular Kosami Nima, local government expert. And Kosami, we wish you all the best, and we wish you well and speedy recovery as well. Happy birthday to you, Kosami. And also speedy recovery to the Venerable Major, Ebenezer Ni Adelai. We wish you all the best. Just to remind you that Sunday is Father's Day. Sunday is Father's Day. Put out the Father's Day image there. There's a schoolboy, bellboy, for those of you who are used to the bellboy. These days, the schools, they have sirens and the rest. But in my days, we have the bellboy with a very big wristwatch, often bestowed on him by the school or by the authorities, and is reminding us that Sunday is Father's Day. So for all the ladies who are pretending not to know that Sunday is Father's Day, we are reminding you for the umpteenth time that Sunday is Father's Day. Find a way to celebrate. Don't take us out to eat and then ask us to pay as well. Sunday is Father's Day. Treat us good just as we treat you. Sunday is Father's Day. And because Sunday is Father's Day, we want to have a special here on 3FM Sunrise. We're putting together 4 layers of fathers. A father under 30, a father above 30, inching towards 40, a father above 40, inching towards 50, and a father above 50, 60, and going under. Please put up the flyer, quick. Let's see the flyer. That's right. So that's ACP retired Dr. Benjamin Agojo, a senior retired police officer, Nanaya Osaidakwa, founding president of the Green Republic Project, and Jonathan Syme, banker of the ADB, Benoni Benjamin Lamte is the CEO of Gadget Solution. They're going to be here. We're going to discuss the evolution of fatherhood, the road, the triumphs, challenges, and the lessons. It's happening at 8 a.m. here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. You don't want to miss that conversation. I've given you fathers from different generations, and we're going to be discussing with them what fatherhood is and etc. You also do know that today we're starting off the 3FM Baby Fair. The 3FM Baby Fair is happening at the Marina Mall Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be fun. There'll be fun photo booths for all your children. Unfortunately, if you're a vendor and you're looking forward to join the 3FM Baby Fair, you may be too late because the slots have been sold out. So maybe next year you can come through, but you can always come through and then be part of the fun and excitement. 3 days of great marketing, 3 days of providing you the platform for all that your children need. And I've spoken to some of the vendors. We'll speak to some of them later on the show, and you have to be there. Marina Mall, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're starting today. That's the official launch. Saturday and then Sunday, there will be a kids playing area. So don't bother worrying to leave your children at home. Bring them, and we will will make sure that they are well taken care of. Our first issue for this morning will be on the regrettable situation where the Global Fund had dashed us medicines. And these are medicines that, aside the malaria medicines, the HIV and tuberculosis medicines are not medicines that we can grab on the streets. No. They are not medicines that we can just walk into a pharmacy and ask for. No. They are medicines that a doctor has to prescribe. You have to be put on a certain, regime and schedule. A certain regime and schedule. And we decided that we're going to keep the medicines at the port for whatever reason for more than a year. And all that we have gotten is a political gimmick. Yesterday, I saw a statement from the ministry, and I won't read that statement. You know why? Because if you read the statement, there's a subtle suggestion in it that, there's only 1 or 2 containers that have the HIV and tuberculosis, but the bulk of it has malaria. Even if the thing were just plaster, just plaster. We shouldn't have left it there. And the Global Fund people have told us that it is the first time anywhere in the world since the legendary Kofi Annan, Busumuru Kofi Annan, bless his soul, instituted this when he was Secretary General of the United Nations. This is the very, very first time anywhere in the world that Global Fund has taken medicine to a country that needs it. And the country has decided that they will keep it at the port and rather demand for monies from them to be able to clear them, or to play Pilolo and Chaskele. What we are doing is tantamount to what the Fantis say, Ohien needs to be proud. You no get, they give you they break your neck, they turn around. Ohien needs to be proud. That's what we are doing. So I am happy that finally, at least, we're getting some headway. And if the Global Fund people and the CSOs had not spoken, I am sure that we would have been in the situation and in denial. The Global Fund people said that this is regrettable, this is inexcusable, and this is unacceptable. And they said Ghana has the human resource, so they cannot understand what is going on. To it, they say that we have the men, but Taflache, the men are not thinking. That's what the Global Fund people told us. So yesterday, while Dr. Bernard Okoboy and his team were inspecting some hospital projects in Accra, particularly the La General Hospital and one at Weija, it's the good projects. I'm happy that the La General Hospital is coming up. It's coming up eventually after all the lies and deceit. Finally, it's coming up. The people of La General would have something to think about, but it's just 28 months or so. If the people of Ghana decide not to give the MPP an opportunity to break the 8, but to end the 8, the next government, if it's an MPP government or if it's an NDC government or a PPP or a Afrafranto or whatever it is, we will have to force them to finish that project. Because the whole idea of one regime starting a project and then another regime leaving it is problematic. John Mahama says that when he comes back, he will come and complete all the projects that he started that have been abandoned by this government. And I get this. I fear that if he also comes, he may abandon the projects that this government has started. And that has been the back and forth we have had with it. We toy with the lives of the people. We toy with the education of the people. We toy with the economy of the people. We toy with the agriculture and the feeding and nutrition of the people. We toy with the security of the people. We toy with everything. Everything. We toy with it. So I'm happy that Okoboy, as Minister for Health, has given himself a 2 weeks ultimatum. Listen to him. Listen to Dr. Bernard Okoboy. He had given himself a 2 weeks ultimatum. Sarah Paku spoke with him. Listen to him.
That, this government will make sure that it pays for the 28, we've been given 28 months, starting from January of this year. So what it means is that within some 18, 19 months, this structure should be done with. And like I mentioned earlier, I worked here before I went to Parliament as a doctor. So I know that this building was a threat. And I'm happy that we've had the courage, we have a president who is willing to build it up. And that, I'm sure, will happen. I thank you very much.
is another issue that is making a lot of waves, which falls under your sector, which is the clearance of the donor-funded commodities at the port. What's the current state of the development?
Well, one of the things I've learned in this short time is to stay on the focus. We came here to inspect the Lajana project, to see how far it's progressing. All I can say is that with the commodities, the ministry has issued a statement. And the statement, I'm sure, is available for you to see. We are committed to getting the containers out. And for me, personally, irrespective of the bureaucracies involved with government and all that, I have given myself 2 weeks. 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I myself will not be encouraged if there is 2 more or 1 more container left at the port. In fact, and this one you can take it from me, if by 2 weeks we still have containers at the port, you will not see me here. I'll be sitting right at the port. I'll sit at the port with them until everything comes out.
I thought 2 weeks. Ochi enyo. Buden choke. Dapene bien 2 weeks. That's what you said. So we will take your word for it because the Global Fund people agreed that you are new. And so they cannot pile the sins of Kwekwadjima Menu on your head. Because when the medicines first came, it was Kwekwadjima Menu who was the Minister for Health. Incidentally, we are told that Kwekwadjima Menu had contested one of the leaders of the CSOs to become the chairman of the Global Fund in Ghana. And he won. So the sins of another minister cannot be visited on you. However, it's important that I let you people know, my fellow Ghanaians, I let you know that the composition of the meeting, the Global Fund, has the finance ministry. It has the minority side in parliament and the majority side there. They are all there. It has every other person in the Ghana Health Service. Everybody who matters in the issues of health in this country is on that table. They know. So we will take Dr. Bernard Okoboy's 2 weeks. But the people, the CSO say, on the 25th of June, they will still go on their demonstration. Well, that will be 2 weeks away from now. But they said they will still go on their demonstration. So 2 weeks is what we are giving to ourselves. And I can't think to understand why this had to happen in the first place. And Oko said, look, it is unfortunate. It could have been handled better in the past. But let's move on. So 2 weeks. Oko, we are watching you. 2 weeks. But then 2 weeks, I thought, good morning to you. Now, there's a rejoinder from the Progressive People's Party regarding the Bank of Ghana's comment that Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndum disrespected the Bank of Ghana in the matter of GN Bank. And these days, a lot of people are speaking up. Yesterday, I saw some audio. I listened to an audio making the rounds, supposedly from the court, where somebody is said to have suggested that Fantis are cheap and that if they throw monies at Fantis, right, elections will be won. And somebody also added that, well, Fantis are not serious. They are concert people. And that if you give them some small food, it'll be okay. If those comments indeed were true, it tells you how looked down upon Fantis are. And maybe, just maybe, they would have to think again how they have done things in the past. I said, if you listen to those comments, and if those comments were true, suggesting that Fantis are cheap, and that if money is thrown at them or they are concert people, and if you find them small food, you can get your way with them, then it behoves on Fantis to also think through and see and maybe amend how they have done things in the past. There's a Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndum video there. Pull it for me. Let's watch the video together. Watch it. Let's watch the video together.
FM 92.7 Urban Lifestyle
Finally, I'll
Radio.
just show you one thing here. This is dated July 26th, 2018. As I said, I have many of these documents, and they are not just in Ghana. We have put them everywhere. There are many more. There are many more. This one is as a result of this memorandum submitted by the Minister of Finance at that time, Mr. Kenneth Kununku Ofori-Atta, to ask Cabinet to agree for GN Bank to be collapsed, for its license to be taken. I've read this memorandum. This memorandum doesn't consider that it was the biggest bank with the widest distribution network in Ghana. It didn't consider that we were providing monies that was banking services that was increasing financial inclusion in Ghana. It didn't recognize that we were supporting financial development, economic development in Ghana. Didn't recognize all of those things. It just said, these people, they are causing us problems. And therefore, it might affect our political chances, so let's shut it down. What led to the liquidity crisis? He refused to pay us. He paid others. He refused to pay our contractors. And they thought that maybe if they paid the money would come to me. And I've been telling people everywhere, that money, it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to customers. I've even said before, in writing to Jubilee House, that if you don't want to pay me, let's sit down and agree who is owed and pay them directly. Pay them directly. What is left, you give to us. Why wouldn't they mind us? Why would they even don't want to talk to me? Why? And this thing, look, after Mr. Ofori-Atta sent his memorandum to Cabinet, you know, that according to what I'm holding here, Cabinet did not agree that they should collapse GN Bank. Let me read to you what Cabinet said. It says, Cabinet at its 36th meeting, held on Thursday, 19th July 2018, considered a report of the Cabinet Committee on Economic Matters on the above memorandum submitted by the Minister for Finance. The memorandum requested Cabinet to consider and approve the revocation of the license of GN Bank as it was found to be in distress and unable to meet the new minimum capital requirement. However, Cabinet resolved that the Minister of Finance and Bank of Ghana should continue to engage the shareholders and management of the bank on the way forward so as to ensure confidence in the ongoing banking sector reforms in the country. I would be grateful if you could take action on the decision by Cabinet. And this was sent to the Honorable Minister for Finance and to the Governor of Bank of Ghana from Cabinet. So what happened? Who decided not to comply?
Who decided not to comply? Well, the Bank of Ghana has been speaking. They say he disrespected the Bank of Ghana. Here's the PPP's rejoinder or response or rebuttal to what the Bank of Ghana said. And Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndubu, we know he founded the PPP, the Progressive People's Party. Now, the statement is dated the 13th of June, 2024, and it's a rejoinder, GN Savings and Loans. GN Savings and Loans, the rejoinder for immediate release. It says that the Progressive People's Party has read a publication attributed to the Director of Communications of the Bank of Ghana, Mr. Bernard Otabil. In that publication, Mr. Otabil was shamefully heard dismissing statements made by the chairman of Group Indum, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum, that the central bank was influenced by the former finance minister, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, to collapse GN Savings and Loans. Again, Mr. Otabil, justifying the revocation of the license, alleged that GN Savings and Loans breached the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 723, and that GN Savings and GN Bank were actually disrespectful to the Bank of Ghana. Now, that is what they have said. First of all, Mr. Otabil's attempt to justify the reckless and wicked decision of the Bank of Ghana to collapse financial houses points to a long-held position that the revocation of the license of GN Savings and Loans was not based on any serious analysis of the bank's overall situation, but it was born out of political considerations, the abuse of the combined powers of the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana, and on the egos or emotionally unstable people exercising regulatory authority. When Mr. Otabil mentioned GN Bank and GN Savings in his interview with Media General, he didn't know, as the damage control officer of the Bank of Ghana, that the two entities he mentioned were different and distinct legal persons. To educate his ignorance and lack of understanding, we want to point out to him that GN Savings was licensed in January 2019 as a savings and loans company, and GN Savings, right? And GN Savings, move on, please. And GN Savings, quick. We don't have too much time. All right? Quick, the next page. Oh boy, technology. But essentially, this is what the PPP is talking about. They are not happy that the Bank of Ghana had to make those comments. And we had gone to have an interview with the Bank of Ghana. We had also told you about the Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom situation. Again, I asked the question, are fancies really cheap? And that if you throw anything at them, they will jump at it? It's a question. So the back and forth now is coming to light, and it's emerging that the decision may not have been taken because of the reasons that had been given. Let's go back to the statement. Well, when Mr. Otabil mentioned GN Bank and GN Savings in his interview with Media General, he didn't know that as the damage control officer of the Bank of Ghana, the two entities he mentioned were different and distinct legal entities, legal persons. To educate his ignorance and lack of understanding, we want to point out to him that GN Savings was licensed in January 2019 as a savings and loans company. GN Savings did not have the permission to engage in any form of foreign transactions. In fact, between January 2019 and August 2019, when the savings and loans license was withdrawn, GN Savings did not engage in any foreign transactions, let alone breach any provisions of the said legislation referred to by Mr. Otabil. Moreover, Mr. Otabil could not, by any known principle in law and in business, visit the alleged, contested, and debunked infractions supposedly committed by GN Bank against GN Savings. The Bank of Ghana cannot punish a person for the alleged crimes and offenses of another. What was necessary for the Bank of Ghana to do to save the thousands of jobs and protect local businesses was to recognize the huge infrastructure debt owed to the entity by the government of Ghana and its agencies. Unfortunately, the Bank of Ghana, as an able and willing partaker in the wicked conspiracy to collapse a thriving Ghanaian business, allowed itself to be misled by the Ministry of Finance to disregard the infrastructure portfolio. For the avoidance of doubt, the Bank of Ghana did not undertake or conduct any regulatory inspection on the activities of GN Savings between January 2019 and August 2019. That explains the hurriedly conjured complication of alleged violations and infractions of GN Bank as a pretext and an attempt to find a basis to revoke the license of GN Savings. The PPP will not allow any public servant who is motivated by their myopic and cheap desire to earn a gold watch at the expense of the taxpayer when they retire from the Bank of Ghana to disparage the conduct of legitimate business in their attempt to find a non-existing justification for the reckless decision that led to the revocation of the license of GN Savings and Loans. The PPP is determined to make every effort for the restoration of all banking licenses wrongfully taken to mark an end to the abuse of regulatory power to destroy local businesses and entrepreneurs. We need to embrace a new Ghana where local businesses are nurtured, protected, and promoted. We remain wide awake to the agenda of national unity, cohesion, using the state purchasing power to promote local businesses to guarantee the creation of sustainable jobs for the youth, majority of whom remain unemployed. Live long. This signed by Nana Ofori-Owusu, national chairman of the PPP. His number is there. If you doubt me, call him. Now, go around the country and you see a lot of the GN Bank properties. They have been left to rot. I've told you before that when I was very deep in rural reporting, I used to go to the forgotten parts of this country and you will see sometimes even just a container, a GN Bank container where people were walking in to transact their businesses. I know people who I worked with in the hinterlands, right? When we're leaving Accra, they say, oh, don't worry, we'll just transfer the money into our account. When we get there, we'll withdraw it and use it so we don't carry the cash on us. We just woke up one day and decided to shut it all down. And we have left the things in the bush to rot away. So I asked the question the other time, that are we creating Ghanaian businesses and businessmen who will transcend political regimes, or are we creating political business people whose businesses will die or the businesses will be coterminous with the political parties and the ideologies that they subscribe to? What are we trying to do as a country? Are we building businesses that are genuine, that are creating jobs, opportunities, that are trying to reduce our unemployment rate, which has gone up through the roof? Are we trying to create an enabling environment for people to grow? Or are we just using the political strokes to enable the people who are attached to us, and then when we leave power, those people begin to suffer? Is that what we are doing? Or are we just targeting some business people who we think may have the capacity? And that's what Dr. Papa Kwesi is saying, because they think that they will cause them problem. And in Papa Kwesi Ndom's commentary, the Central Region, a letter supposedly signed by Nana Asante Bedier to Executive Secretary of the President, the Central Region was going to be a problem. Yesterday, I'm told in court that somebody also had said in a tape, somebody had said there in a tape, that the Central Region, the Fantis are cheap. And I'm saying that the Fantis would have to think the way they have done things in the past. I have Fanti blood in me. If you go, and I think that our people need to start thinking. Our final issue. I have given you an assignment that I think we should all do nationally. And find me Nana Kumia's video. Nana Kumia is the Managing Director of the State Transport Corporation, STC. And I've given you an assignment, star 920 star 57 hash. Star, write that down, please. Star 920 star 57 hash. If you see any of those government vehicles, those green plates, just dial star 920 star 57 hash. Star 920 star 57 hash. Any of those government, those green plates, when you see them, just key in what I've told you. You get the prompt. Key in the car number without the spacing. So if it's GE 11111, maybe 20, just key in that the way and check who is insuring those government vehicles. Government is failing to do or refusing to do business with government. And SIC is sinking. SIC used to be very viable. They used to insure all the state vehicles and everything else. Now go. The ministries, departments, and agencies, they are all insuring their vehicles. And when you ask them, they tell you, oh, they have a choice. They have a choice. So government is refusing to do business with government. And we have seen that example showing in refusing, a government agency refusing to allow for medicines which another government agency would need to help the citizens of Ghana. That tackle, Ajana 1, Ajana 2, Metiasia attitude must stop. Play the video. Play the video for me. Who are the insurers of your fleet?
Enterprise Insurance.
Enterprise Insurance?
Yeah.
Why Enterprise Insurance and not SIC? Is government refusing to do business with government?
No.
Okay.
Enterprise Insurance came with the bank.
The bank came with, or Enterprise came with the bank?
They came together. So if you went to ADB as we speak, if your company, I don't know the name of your company, is it Media General?
Media General, right.
If you went to ADB for a facility to buy transmitters and get news studios and so on,
right,
your automatic insurance will be
92.7.
Enterprise.
I see.
92.7.
So what happens to
I think that
SIC?
I think that no.
Because in the past, was it SIC that insured your vehicles?
Yeah, we had SIC, but you have a choice. I mean, nobody imposes insurance on you. They all bid, and then you negotiate.
That's what I'm asking you. Is government refusing to do business with government?
Well, let me tell you what I know.
Tell me, sir.
You asked me why Enterprise.
Yes,
and
sir.
I've said it came with the bank.
Right.
That's it. As to, I don't know what government is doing or what government is not doing as far as insurance.
Because SIC is suffering. SIC is really suffering.
I'm talking of ADB.
Right.
I'm saying if you went for a loan today from ADB, they'll say it's our money, this is our insurance company. And that's what happened.
I see.
3 questions. Number 1, ADB, is it true
that you refused as a state-owned bank, and we as citizens have shares in your bank. You have no money of your own, Agricultural Development Bank, my own bank. Is it true that you decided not to do business with the state insurance company and you decided to give the deal to Enterprise Insurance Company, and we know those connected to Enterprise Insurance Company? I don't need to bore you with the facts that we already know. Is it also true that all those state vehicles that we see around are being insured by one insurance company? Is it true? And who gave that fiat for it to be done? So that, for example, ADB will say, we won't choose, according to Nana Komia, we won't choose, if you come to us for money that belongs to Ghanaians and the shares that keeps the bank running, if you come to us, we would rather give it to a private entity and not the state-owned bank, the state-owned insurance company. Is it true? Things are happening in Ghana, and it is only in Ghana that you see some of these things, and only in Ghana that a beach hotel like Labadi Beach Hotel doesn't own its beachfront. It belongs to the son of a former chairman of a political party in power. At least he's claiming that in court. Labadi Beach, the beachfront, it doesn't belong to the... So there's a beach hotel that doesn't own its beachfront. It belongs to another entity who's trying to do the same business. It's only in Ghana. It is also only in Ghana that we wake up one day after tolling bad roads that we decided that we're going to cancel the tolls. And then you get a new minister who replaces it and says, any country that is serious will actually toll. So was he not part, that minister of roads, was he not part of the cabinet that decided that we will cancel road tolls? And they told us that people were fighting there. And up to now, the police has not arrested even one person fighting at any of the 38 tolling points in the country. You see, when you tell lies, you will be exposed for what you are and for who you are. Next week, it will be sweet on this show. Please call me 055-924-27